Good evening, everyone, and welcome. The May 19th, 2026 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Barnhart is excused. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy.
Here.
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is present. Mr. Baines. Here. Mr. Baines is present. Mr. Colby is excused. Mr. Dondorfer. Here. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Mr. Keller. Here. Mr. Keller is present. Mr. Mafucci.
Here.
Mr. Mafucci is present. Mr. McCabe. Mr. McCabe is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons.
Here.
Ms. Vasquez Simmons is present. Mr. Udelson is excused. President Roman. Here. President Roman is present.
Will Legislator Smith please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman, if I may make a point of personal privilege,
Can I do one thing first?
you absolutely can.
Is there anyone here who would like to address the committee at this time? I guess you do.
Okay, very good. Why, thank you, sir. I did not have any committees last evening, so I was not in chambers. However, I wanted to keep up with what occurred last evening, so as I was going to watch the committee meetings this morning on YouTube, there was no sound. So thus myself and members of the public that wish to watch were unable to view and listen. In fact, the Intergovernmental Relations Committee did not even begin until after the public forum portion of the agenda. I guess to the clerk's office, my question is, was there an issue? I mean, can you explain for myself and the public? And then I have a follow-up question to the administration, to legal, through the chair, if this creates any legal issues for us at all.
Yes, so I noticed that this morning when I went to go upload the videos into one meeting, and there was a technical problem that was driven by, we got all of the microphones serviced last week on Friday to help with some of the sound issues we've been having that reset our soundboard. So it changed our settings. So we had sound in chambers, but not on the Zoom. We are currently working with IS, I've been going back and forth with them today, to resolve the issue and get sound and potentially get transcripts as well from the meetings, and also working with the law department moving forward to figure out that we're in compliance.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I guess to the administration, through the chairman, does this set us up for any legal issues potentially before this is resolved?
Through the chair, this evening when I arrived is the first that I was made aware of this, so I have not had a chance to look into what, if any, legal consequences there may be, but we will certainly do that.
Okay, thank you very much. I yield. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for the answer.
Yep, thank you, thank you. Oh, let's see. Okay, Pat Gooch, Senior Planner for Monroe County's Planning and Development Department, will now give a brief overview of the 2027-2032 Capital Improvement Program as it pertains to the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Chairperson Mafucci. You should all have received a copy of the County Executive's recommended 2027-2032 CIP. The Monroe County Planning Board reviewed the County Executive's proposal, held a public hearing, and prioritized the 2027 budget year projects for the CIP being referred to your honorable body. At the full legislature meeting in June, you'll set a public hearing for July, and then, upon your favorable review, vote to approve the plan. There are no funding approvals associated with taking action on this referral. We're going to take just a few minutes to look at the recommended capital improvement program in terms of funding sources, capital budget year funding, 2027, and new projects. For a more detailed description of funding sources, please refer to page 1 of your CIP. There are 219 projects in the 6-year program. That is summarized by department and in total in Table 1 on pages 4 to 5 of the capital improvement program. The recommended total program funding is just over $522 million for 16 program areas of the capital improvement program. Total county funding, all but Monroe Community Hospital, Airport, Pure Waters, and Solid Waste, is just over $252 million in the recommended CIP, approximately 48% of the total CIP. Funding for the 2027 capital budget year is just over $115 million. This, or the first year of the CIP, is the only year of the 6-year CIP that funding is authorized. The remaining years, from 2028 to 2032, are planned to ensure we have a deep understanding of the county's needs, anticipate projects, and the associated funding that will support them. District funding is used by Pure Water's program and accounts for just over 30% of the total CIP. There are two kinds of district funding, bonding and district cash. Projects that use district cash are paid for out of operating funds and do not impact Pure Water's debt. Monroe County Water Authority is also district funded. Enterprise funding, or user fee funding, funds the hospital, airport, and solid waste divisions and represent 5.5% of the total CIP funding. There are two kinds of enterprise funding, bonding and cash again. Projects that use cash are paid for out of operating funds. State and federal funding is used in the MCC, airport, traffic engineering, highways and bridges, and sheriff's programs. Together, state and federal funding account for almost 15.5% of the total CIP funding. Currently, only the airport and the Department of Transportation have federal funding scheduled, but that may change as funds come in. MCC, aviation, DES, facilities, and DOT highways and bridges have state funding scheduled. There is currently no private funding in the recommended CIP. Private funding often comes into the CIP when a road project is partially funded by a municipality or a private developer. We've had examples of that in 2025 and 2024. Table 2 on pages 6 and 7 of your CIP lists 79 capital budget year projects in priority order as determined by the Monroe County Planning Board. Those 79 projects scheduled for 2027 will require approximately $115 million in total funding. Chart 2 on page 3 summarizes the estimated debt service during the program years based on existing debt, authorized but unissued debt, and funding proposed in the recommended CIP. I'm going to highlight a few departments and their projects in this year's CIP. Departments only appear in the CIP program if they have a project in that 6-year cycle. You'll recall, that the county clerk's office appeared in the program 2 years ago. The Board of Elections, on page 10, has a project scheduled for 2027. Neither currently have anything scheduled in years from 2028 to 2032. If that holds, they will fall out of next year's CIP, but they will be re-added when their next CIP project is submitted for inclusion. The Monroe Community College's funding plan, which begins on page 13, contains 8 projects, none of which are new. However, MCC just completed an update to its 2020 Facilities Master Plan, and we anticipate that changes to the MCC program will occur in the next few years. These may include scheduling changes, funding changes, and/or new projects. The MCC program accounts for just over 7% of the total 6-year capital program. Moving on to the Department of Environmental Services, the Pure Waters program begins on page 36. 6 new projects are introduced to the CIP, all of which are slotted for the last year, 2032. Pure Waters projects are funded solely through district funds. The Pure Waters program accounts for just over 30% of the total capital program this year. The Facilities Management Program begins on page 49 of your CIP. There are no new projects in this CIP for facilities. The County Facilities Program accounts for approximately 12% of the total capital program. The Highways and Bridges Program, starting on page 68, is one of the largest in the CIP. There are 17 projects in this program, which use a mix of county, state, and federal funding. Currently, the Highway and Bridges Program is the second largest in the CIP at just under 18%. Funding for highways and bridges is heavily supported by state and federal funds. 21% of highway and bridge funding is from state and federal funding. The remaining 79% of funding is county funded. Projects in the 2027-2032 CIP include annual projects designed to operate and maintain 1,480 lane miles of county roads. This includes annual milling and resurfacing projects, preventive maintenance projects, culvert replacement and bridge maintenance, and 12 projects on various county roads. There are 3 new projects in the CIP, starting in 2027, 2028, and 2029. These are largely grant-funded projects to maintain bridges and roads. Information about the Department of Public Safety's 6-year program begins on page 83. There are 16 projects in this program. 4 of these projects are new, and priority projects being slotted into 2027. One is the replacement of a special operations vehicle used by the Fire Bureau, and the other is a replacement of a server that supports the county's 911 system. The public safety program accounts for just over 8.55% of the total capital program. The sheriff's program begins on page 92. There are 11 projects in the sheriff's program related to equipment and vehicle purchases and maintenance of facilities. There are no new projects in this cycle for the sheriff. The sheriff's program is just under 5% of the total capital program. I will be happy to take questions when the committee gets to this item on the agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gooch. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the April 28th, 2026 meeting before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
No, you do the first one. We're doing after the first item.
Referral 26-0131, authorize a joint agreement with the U.S. Geological Survey, United States Department of the Interior for the Water Resources Investigations Project.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, I wanted to learn as much as I could about this referral, so when I read the letter, I still had some questions. Does the money that we receive and that we provide, is it for diagnostic testing, or does it provide an opportunity, is that funding remediation of water resource concerns after an investigation?
Through the chair, this funding is essentially for diagnostic evaluations.
So thank you through the chair. So we're looking at non-potable water, so this is wastewater, stormwater, creeks, et cetera. Is that correct?
Through the chair, no, it's just strictly surface water, so creeks and streams, not sewers.
Thank you. So what would be a threshold where, what would be an example of a finding or, something that we would find that would alarm us, that would require remediation, as an example from the past or in a theoretical sense?
Through the chair, so this particular contract really addresses stream hydrology and doesn't necessarily get into the remediation part of it. You may recall last cycle, there was a contract with FLOPA, the Oswego County group and Stormwater Coalition that would get into the remediation. And they use information from this contract to then go back and look at what kind of stream mitigation may be necessary through the Stormwater Coalition.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, is one of the aspects of the investigation looking at the cyclical nature of the water in terms of, for instance, the spring runoff or flooding?
Through the chair, yes. Historical information, cyclical nature, that's certainly important and something that is being used not only for real-time data, but then also for emergency management, climate action criteria, a number of those other aspects to just get a historical perspective on what streams are doing.
Thank you.
Which obviously are all driven by actual real-time weather events.
Thank you. And final question from me, through you, Mr. Chairman. The data that we collect and the information, is it accessible to the community through a website? And is it kept up to date so that, for instance, in my district, there's a real concern on the part of some of my constituents and Legislator Bartholomew McCoy's constituents around flooding in the spring. Could I refer them to a website where they could see your data?
Through the chair, yes, the data is collected and stored on a GIS application that is a web-based platform. All of our members from our Stormwater Coalition has access to it. It is not accessible by the general public. However, we can make provisions if there are questions or concerns by the public or any legislative member that we can provide that information.
Thank you very much. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move the agenda items with the following exceptions. Items number 0131, 0139, 0140, 0145, 0151, 0159, and 0167.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Smith. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0140. Authorize the implementation of a project labor agreement for Tropical Exhibit in Main Entry Plaza Phase 2 capital project.
Point of order.
Yeah.
I think we were supposed to do 139,
139.
139 and 140.
Yes, no, that is
131,
correct.
131 is on here too.
We just did 130 first.
Okay, we'll go back.
26-0139, authorize a contract with CJS Architects LLP for professional design services for the Highland Park Warner Castle renovation project.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Because we lost the audio from last night, I apologize that these questions may seem somewhat redundant, but I think it's important for some of these items to be on the record. And I might add, I thought I had some pretty good one-liners last night that are now lost to, they're now lost to posterity, so I'm grieving over here, but I'll recover. So as I asked through you, Mr. Chair, the administration last night, I didn't know we owned a castle and until I got elected. And I've learned a fair bit from our Parks Department about it. I learned last night that this particular referral is for the design, that there's another X amount of money in reserve for the actual work. Can you repeat that amount of money that is in reserve to complete the work to the castle once the design work is completed, please?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, Warner Castle, located on the corner of Highland and Mount Hope, originally built in 1855, one of the treasures here in Monroe County. The project here seeks to onboard the engineering firm to conduct the analysis for the repair of the North Tower. The North Tower has some structural deficiencies in it. Ultimately, the project seeks to restore that North Tower and secure it in perpetuity for generations to come. Ultimately, that facility is currently houses the Landmark Society, which is a tenant within that castle that the County of Monroe owns, and ultimately will continue to preserve for generations to come.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, does the Landmark Society pay rent, or because they provide a public good, do they live there rent-free?
Mr. Chairman, they do pay rent. However, I don't have those figures offhand.
Thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0140. Authorize the implementation of a project labor agreement for Tropical Exhibit in Main Entry Plaza Phase 2 capital project.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Yes, Mr. Chairman. Legislator Baines.
Thank you. Through you to the administration, I appreciate the inclusion of the entire study and analysis of the PLA in our packet, which I read in its completion. I just want to educate myself on that document was produced by a company, I think their name might be Sealy, but or Sealer. But is that something that who pays to produce, if you will, the document that we see that we're voting on?
Through the chair, the county pays for that. Our design consultant on this particular job is Cambridge 7, you may recall, out of Boston. And we have the design engineer hire Sealer Associates as an expert producing PLA documents as a subcontractor to develop that.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chair, do we subtract the cost of subcontracting to Sealer from the benefit analysis or the cost savings analysis? Is that baked into that, in other words?
Through the chair, I would, no, it's not. As a number, it's not subtracted from the benefit analysis. That's kind of the cost of doing business or the cost of design is to evaluate the benefit of having a PLA on the project.
Thank you. And thank you for providing that information. It's very valuable. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0145, 2027-2032 Capital Improvement Program.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, can we have a list of any projects that have been delayed, downsized, or otherwise changed from the last CIP?
Through the chair, yes, we can provide that.
Any other discussion? Legislator Baines.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, last night we discussed the handicap accessibility of this particular building, and I want to go back over that and share my experience trying to get into the building tonight and try to get a better understanding of how we're going to improve access to people of limited mobility. So would the administration please describe the plans for making this particular building more accessible to folks in wheelchairs, folks on scooters, or, anybody with mobility issues?
Through the chair, as described last night, all of our facilities are ADA compliant in terms of current regulations. Part of the discussion last night was the addition of wayfinding measures so that folks coming off of Main Street know which entrance to go into so that they can access the handicap area. And actually, as I was walking out last night, I noticed that some of those signs are actually placed on the corners of the county office building facing Main Street to indicate normal, I shouldn't say normal, but ADA access is off the alley, Irvine Place, and that other access is provided off of Fitzhugh. So there are two signs, at least currently now, located on the north face of COB that help direct constituents which way to go.
Thank you. And I'd like to explain my vote, Mr. Chairman. So tonight when I got here, I forgot my badge, and so I had to go. I was parked in the alley, and I've had events here for 99-year-olds. You guys, most of you were here when I brought in two incredible 99-year-old World War II veterans, and they arrived at 39 West Main Street. So, 39 West Main Street is the address. Then, obviously, if you have to go through the alley, which I did tonight, I didn't have my badge, the door was locked. So there's a button there, it says, press this button and someone will come and help you. And so I pressed the button, I waited about 5 minutes. Then I went around, walked up the stairs through that little lobby there, and came down through security, and I found somebody who's worked here a long time, and I said, where does that button go? And then he said, nowhere. So, part of my concern is this is a $1.57 billion business. This is our flagship building. And even if we are ADA compliant, I really believe we need to be ADA exemplary. And so I appreciate your answers. I appreciate your good work. I did review the signs myself. But I just think that in whatever work we're doing, that should be a priority. And I want to put that out there for the community. And because the audio's gone from last night, I felt the need to go back over this. I apologize for the redundancy of that. I yield. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0151, 2026-2027 Annual Action Plan for Housing and Community Development in Suburban Monroe County and grant submission to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Thank you. As with any program where we are giving grants to people, my concern is fair access to those monies. So through you, Mr. Chair, would the administration review how the people who are selected within the envelope of the community-based grants, for instance, the $20,000, up to $20,000 to fix your house type of thing? How do we ensure that it's a fair process? In the past, for other processes, I've heard that we go first come, first serve, which I personally don't think is right. But so if you could just do an overview of efforts to make sure that folks throughout the community have fair access to these programs and review that with us, please.
Through the chair, the program is first come, first serve. Our staff is available to assist anyone that needs copies made, understanding what the requirements are, and all of the paperwork that's related to it. But we can't hold applications for a long period of time because there are a lot of people that request the funding.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. My concern would be that a system that is first come, first serve would favor people who have inside information. Is it possible that we can have a window, get the word out, have applicants, and then draw? Because basically, there are a limited number of these grants, and especially if there's a lot of interest.
Through the chair, we do solicit, we've done outreach, direct outreach to eligible homeowners, and there is funding available for participants.
All right, thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0159, erroneous assessment refund.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 26-0167, amend Resolution 144 of 2011 as amended by Resolution 313 of 2020, Resolution 427 of 2021, Resolution 283 of 2022, Resolution 394 of 2023, and Resolution 438 of 2024 to provide funding to the Lilac Festival, Inc., authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the City of Rochester, and authorize an interdepartmental transfer.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Any discussion? Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair to the administration, does the county feel security at the Lilac Festival is acceptable, given yet another year that we've had incidents at the festival?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, security at the Lilac Festival is paramount to the success of the festival. Patrons must feel safe and secure when they are in the festival grounds, both at the Art in the Park, which is to the north, and in the main festival grounds at Highland South. This year, there was a very leaned forward posture with regard to security. For the vast majority of this festival, it went on without incident. However, the last 2 hours were mired yet again with another several occurrences within the festival grounds. Ultimately, it's certainly disappointing to all parties. This body knows, we contract through the Lilac Festival, Inc., who contracts with a promoter, but ultimately the Parks Department and the county itself, as well as the City of Rochester, are extremely concerned with the safety at the festival. Given the amount of, what would you call it? knives, etc., the type of weapons collected at the entrances of the Lilac Festival. I would say the boxes of which were collected. I would say that their security posture was good this year. Certainly, always room for improvements. There's always room to enhance measures. And I think annually that is reviewed for perimeter fencing to ingress egress to a number of security officials at the festival.
Thank you. I have another follow-up question. Through the chair to the administration, what is the county or city doing to ensure the safety of our residents as we go forward? Any changes that you look forward to putting in place next year?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the security within the festival perimeter is incumbent upon the promoter to acquire those individuals and really formulate that security plan. Exterior to the festival, that's really the agency having jurisdiction would be the Rochester Police Department, certainly the County Sheriff's Office, County Parks, really multiple divisions within public safety and the County of Monroe as a whole are invested and meet annually. And I think once a D-scope meeting occurs to review what worked, what didn't, the changes that were successful, and additional changes that will be implemented in future years, be better able to answer that question. But I think at that time, we'd be able to get you a better answer.
Thank you. I do have another follow-up question
Right ahead.
through Mr. Chairman to the administration. You stated that that it's through the promoters that actually do a contract through security, correct?
Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
Could we not, as a county, since we own that park, correct?
Mr. Chairman, we do own that one. We lease other parks through the city of Rochester, so I wanted to make sure that we
Okay.
own that. We own Highland Park South.
No problem. So couldn't we as a county let them know what type of security we're looking for and encourage them to put that type of security in place?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the answer to that is yes. We do that with multiple agencies reviewing the security and safety measures. There are multiple meetings that occur in advance of the festival, during the festival. Either myself or the director are on site every evening through the festival, really focusing on this very issue. But yes, that is correct.
Thank you so much. I yield the floor.
Any other discussion? Legislator Bartholomew McCoy.
Yes, Chairman, just a general comment on the security. I had some family members that did attend the Lilac Festival this year after several decades of not going, and they did mention the reduced footprint of the Lilac Festival and the security, the fencing around the perimeter. So that family member did notice there was a major effort to kind of contain what was going on in the festival and made sure that the security could indeed make sure that all were safe inside. So I just kudos to making that adjustment as we go through the changing landscape of the people that attend the Lilac Festival and how the Lilac Festival has gone moving forward. So thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the May 19th, 2026 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will be held on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m.